You're growing through what you go through. Remember that. If things feel hard right now, all your feelings are valid about it. If you feel angry, sad, frustrated, depressed, all of your feelings are valid. And I hope you can say right now, I validate myself, because that's the most important thing, is that you're able to validate yourself. That's really going to get you through this. Welcome back to the Pink and Powerful podcast, my ladies and femmes. In today's episode, we're going to talk about how to transform difficult times into resilience and strength. Listen, I know it sounds cheesy, but if you're going through something right now, just a reminder that it's happening for you, not to you. I know. Girl, I know. If you're in the midst of it, it's like, no, this is happening to me. Like, how could this be happening for me? You have a hard time comprehending that and believing that, I should say. But that's what I want you to get from this episode. I want you to, after listening to this, truly, really believe that whatever you're going through right now is happening for you, and you're going to grow from it and you're going to learn from it. So I figured I would share some vulnerable things today. I'm a little nervous. It's really hard for me to be vulnerable. I think it's hard for everybody to be vulnerable, right? Oh, Suki, you caught in the microphone cord, baby. Here. My dog is laying next to me and she's like, I'm out of here. She said vulnerability, I'm out of here. And just a disclaimer, the only reason I'm sharing these things is because I want to be able to prove that you don't have to have it easy and have nothing ever happen to you in life to be able to be successful or happy or anything positive, really, because I think that is a common misconception, perhaps, or when you're going through something difficult and maybe you're in a negative mindset or you're just feeling down, I feel like it can be easy to fall into that trap of thinking that, well, maybe if my life was easy and perfect like that girl, I wouldn't have to go through all this right now, and maybe I could have all the money in the world if I didn't go through difficult things. But that's not true, because social media especially has made everybody think that everybody's life is perfect, but everybody's life is not perfect. I was thinking about this the other day. Every single person has gone through something, and I think it's easier for us to forget that. Like, we see somebody on social media, they look like they have the perfect life. They have all this money. They are very attractive. They have a beautiful family or whatever. They just look like they have a flawless life. And even that person has gone through something difficult. It might not look like it based off their Instagram, but they have. And it can be easy to forget that sometimes. So that's why I want to share some things that I've been through, because I just want you to see that you don't have to have a perfect life to be able to come out on the other side and just be happy and, achieve your goals. So yeah, I just want it to be inspirational. I don't want you to feel like sympathy for me out of me sharing this. It's okay. And I definitely don't want it to be like me just trauma dumping on you, because that's also far from my intention with this. I definitely don't want it to be like that. I just want it to be inspiring for you. Just a trigger warning. Some of these things I'm going to talk about are very sensitive topics. So PTSD, challenges with eating, toxic childhood like alcoholism. If any of that triggers you, I encourage you to skip past this part. But I just want to give that heads up. Some difficult things that I've been through. My childhood, let's start there. My childhood, whenever I was a kid, my mom was an alcoholic, and it's really hard for me to talk about because I don't want to say anything negative about her. I don't want to be disrespectful, and I definitely don't want people to think ill of her. I've worked really hard to heal from everything that I went through as a child, so I don't want that to go to waste. I'm not saying any of this out of spite for her or anger for her. I just think it's important information. It's just facts. Like, I saw things as a kid that I shouldn't have to see. I did emotional labor as a kid that a kid should not have to do. Like, I was the parent basically, and that's not, a child shouldn't have to do that. They should be able to be a child and go out and play with their friends and, experience a childhood that's healthy. And they should be able to have someone to look up to that guides them and makes them believe in themselves and instills confidence in them. And yeah, I didn't really have that. And ew, I didn't think I was gonna cry. I definitely don't want to cry because, yeah, that's not the point. But yeah, I just didn't have that. I think that a lot of kids, unfortunately, don't have that. And it just makes it so much harder growing up to like love yourself and feel good enough and all that. So I could tell you stories upon stories about things that happened in my childhood. Just seeing your parent obliterated almost every single night, like at the very least, once a week, and then being told time and time again, like, I'm gonna quit, I'm gonna get sober, and then they don't. And literally it was like, I'm not even exaggerating, it was like 60, 70, maybe even 100 times I was told I'm done drinking, and she wasn't done. And I recognize now that alcoholism is a very complex disease. It's literally a disease, and she was just doing the best with where she was. It wasn't personal, but that doesn't detract from how difficult it was for me and how difficult it was for me to be able to trust people, because like your mother is supposed to be a person that you can trust, and if you can't even trust your own mother, it kind of makes you feel like you can't trust anybody. And that was something else I had to work through. But my father was so hard working, and he's the reason that I'm so hardworking today. My father is amazing. He's an amazing father, and I 100% would not be where I am today without him. So at least I had that. It's just that I didn't really get to see him that much. And I know some of it was due to maybe him just working so much. And I would never change a thing about that, because if he hadn't worked so much, I wouldn't have the work ethic that I do, because I learned it all from him. But I learned things from both parents though. Like, I learned that I never want to be in the position that my mother was in. And I don't necessarily blame her for being in it, because I understand, like I said, it's complex. It's just that it made me want to work so much fucking harder. Not only to be in not that position, but also just because like it was a mixture of seeing my dad work so hard and not wanting to be in that position. And I'm grateful, so grateful for that. But you know, it was rough. On top of that, in school, I've talked about this before, I was bullied every single day. I don't even like to use the word bullied, because I feel like that's putting it lightly. Like, hey kid, give me your lunch money. And like, it was not that. It was every single day walking down the hallway, getting called the C word, you know, getting punch poured on me at my homecoming. That's not even a joke. That literally happened to me. Like, that happens in movies. That literally happened to me. There was so many times where I felt like it was my fault. I felt like if I was a different person, I wouldn't be harassed at school every day. Like, I remember I would look at other girls in the class. Let's say like there's a girl named Emily. I would be like, maybe if I was Emily, I wouldn't get harassed by these other girls every day. And a guy. There was a guy harassing me too. So I literally thought it was my fault, you know? I just really did not have high self-esteem because of all that. And no one was there to tell me it's not your fault. It's them. No one was there to tell me that. So it was really hard for me to build my confidence over time. I think if I would have had somebody telling me, you can do anything, and those girls aren't harassing you because it's your fault, they're dealing with their own issues. Like, if I had somebody telling me all these positive things, it would have been a cakewalk building like, I would have been confident as hell, I think. Like, I don't know. I'm not positive, but I feel like it would have been much easier. But I'm honestly grateful, because the fact that I had to go through all these hurdles to build my confidence, it just made me that much stronger, and it made me be able to resonate and relate to other people that have gone through that. And look, I'm walking proof that you can come out on the other side of that, no matter what your childhood looked like. And not to minimize my own experience, but there's people that have a really, really, really horrendous childhood, you know, and those people can still come out on the other side. And another thing I went through was in college. I went through something, I'm not really comfortable sharing exactly what it was, but let's just say it's unfortunately a very common scenario, and it changed the chemistry of my brain, and it gave me PTSD, and I really, really struggled with that for a few years. Sometimes I still do, but I've really done the work to heal from that in therapy as well. But it was just so difficult to go outside and live life normally every day. I'm telling you, anytime I would go out in public somewhere, I felt this terrible feeling like that exact same thing was going to happen again. And I was sure of it. Like, I swear to you, girl, I was so sure. I was like, I have to leave this place now. I used to work at a gym. When I would be working, I'd be like, I have to leave. This thing is going to happen. It was just really, really, really bad. I can happily say I've healed through that and I'm able to go out places now and that doesn't cross my mind. Like I said earlier, it's like, I want to believe that that happened for me, but it's difficult. It's difficult to think, yeah, that was for me. But at the end of the day, it was because I got so fucking strong from healing from that. The third thing, the last thing that I will talk about, when I was in college, I did a bodybuilding competition. As you might know, I'm not sure, I've talked about it a lot, but if you're new here, I did a bodybuilding competition when I was in college and I placed. It was great. It felt very accomplishing. I felt so proud of myself because that is hard work. If you've never competed in a bodybuilding competition, oh my God, you can imagine. But when you're actually doing it, it's like, holy shit. I was in college, so it's very normal when you're in college to go out and party and eat whatever and live the college life, have a good time. But I couldn't do any of that. I was pretty miserable at times because I was starving. Like I was so hungry and my hormones were all out of whack. Sticking to my cardio every day, 45 minutes on the Stairmaster and then working out and then posing, and it's just a lot. And meal prepping, it's crazy. And tracking all of your calories, it's wild. Prepping for a bodybuilding competition is not for the weak. But that's not even what I'm talking about that was difficult that I went through, because that was a choice. Like I wanted to do that and I'm so proud of myself for doing that. I can't say it was necessarily fun. I can't necessarily say I was happy, but it was fun and I was happy when I was on the stage and it was all worth it to me. However, afterwards, that's what was challenging that I went through. I developed an eating disorder, but it happened because I was dieting for 6 months. 6 months of starving yourself, essentially. Your hormones that tell you you're full and tell you you're hungry, they are so messed up at that point. So I never felt full, ever. I was binge eating like crazy. I remember being with my friends and I just wanted to leave so that I could go binge, but I didn't want anybody to see me binge, because every time people would see me eating a lot of food, they would be like, that's a lot of food. Like I would go to a buffet with my friends, they'd be like, are you gonna eat all that? That's a lot. Like I'm not even eating that much, because they were dudes. And I felt so embarrassed when people would make comments. So then I just felt like, okay, I'm just going to do it alone. I'm not going to binge in front of anybody. That way I don't have to hear these comments. But I remember every single time after a binge, I hated myself. I wanted to disappear. I was so furious with myself. And I was like, why am I doing this? I don't want to do it. It was like every time I had the urge to binge and I would give in, it felt like I was blacking out. Like I would just eat all the food and I didn't remember when I was done eating. I literally didn't even recall eating all the food. It was like, what just happened? You wake up and you're like, oh my God, did I just eat a whole pizza by myself? A large pizza at that? I just started to know it was a problem when I realized, okay, maybe if I make myself throw up, I will feel better. It'll be like the binge never happened. And that's when I realized I needed help. I had to tell people what I was going through. I had to go to therapy. And it took me like a whole year to recover from that. It was a lot, because every single time I was like, okay, I'm never going to binge again. I'm never going to do it again. I would have a relapse and I would do it again. Anybody that is going through any of these things, my heart truly goes out to you, because I know it can be so hard. The reason I share all of this is because now I am so healthy. Honestly, I do feel really, really confident. Obviously, I have my days. Everybody does. I don't think anybody is 100% confident every single day, but I am overall a confident woman now. I've done the work to really build that. I don't have any issues eating. I have a very, very healthy relationship with food. And I can go out in public and I don't have any thoughts that anything bad is going to happen. So I've really recovered from all this and I have accomplished so much. That's not to brag, but I have really accomplished so many of my goals. And I just want to say that to share with you that you can do the same thing. If you're going through anything difficult and you're like, how am I going to accomplish my goals when I'm going through all this? Trust me, you can and you will. Trust me. For instance, I moved to LA and that was always my dream when I was growing up. I always wanted to live here. Ever since I was a kid, I visited my aunt here and I always wanted to live here. It felt right. Sometimes you just know things. It's in your heart. It's like in your destiny. And everybody told me, you're not going to be able to move there. It's so expensive. You're not gonna be able to make it. LA is awful. Everybody's had something negative to say about it. And I went and did it anyways. I didn't listen to any of them because I knew it was what I wanted. And I am doing honestly great. Like, I work really hard and things are expensive, but I'm doing great because I work so hard. I've really put in the hours and hours and hours to build up my ways of earning an income. And I was going through a lot of difficult things while doing this, you know, trying to overcome all this stuff from my childhood or from the other events that I went through. And I still did it. And I always wanted to be successful in social media and build up a platform. And I'm not where I want to be yet, but I would say I've come pretty freaking far. Like, I have made so many different milestones since starting my YouTube channel and working with a supplement brand and working with 2 clothing brands. I am so proud of that, honestly. I'm so proud of how far I've come. I've literally come from nothing with my social media. Whenever I started YouTube and I would tell people, hey, I started a YouTube channel, they would laugh at me. They would laugh at me, or they would just talk shit, you know? They would just make these snide remarks, and I never let them stop me because I loved it. I knew what I wanted to do, and here I am. I've traveled to places that I've always wanted to travel. Like, I traveled to Greece last year, and that was on my heart to go there, and I finally made it happen. I have accomplished so many goals that I set my mind to, and that was not done because I had a perfect life or because I never had to go through anything hard. And honestly, I think if these things hadn't happened, maybe I wouldn't have achieved these goals. Maybe I wouldn't have worked so hard. Maybe I would have just coasted along, and maybe I would have never came as far as I did. You know, who knows where I would be right now if I never went through any of that shit. And maybe when I word it like that, it helps it click for you, because that honestly just helped it click for me. You know how earlier I was like, okay, maybe it is kind of difficult to believe that it was meant for you, because like how the fuck was that meant for me? How the fuck was going through something that gave me PTSD meant for me? But then you hear it like that and it's like, oh, okay, it was meant for me, because I learned from it that I need to put my whole heart into what I do. And even if I don't feel like doing the things I have to do, just fucking push through and get it done, because it's all gonna be worth it. If I had an easier life, maybe I would have just lived easier. Maybe I would have thought these things would come easier, and maybe I would have been more entitled, and I wouldn't have felt like I had to work hard for things and I just deserve them for no reason. I truly believe that same thing applies to everybody. Everything you're going through is building you. It's building your character. Like, that really built my character and my work ethic. And yeah, it really made me the woman I am today. I think that hearing other people's stories can help you reflect on your own. And hopefully me sharing what I've been through, a few things that I've been through and a few goals that I've accomplished, can make you see that it's just proof that, like, okay, just because I go through something difficult doesn't mean I can't overcome it and one day live my dreams. Because I do feel like I'm living my dream, and I just want to be living proof that if I could do it, you can and will fucking do it. And some bonus tips that I have too is what it really comes down to is your mindsets. If you don't have the mindset that things are happening for you and not to you, it's going to be way, way harder for you to build that resilience and be able to use things as fuel. And when you're able to have that mindset, life really opens up for you. I think to build this mindset, it's just small steps. And one bonus tip I will have for you is journaling has really, really helped me grow through all of these things. Notice I say grow through, because you literally do grow through these things. It's not just going through it, is growing through it. If you journal about things, especially if they're big things, I think it can really help you process it. But also with bigger things, I do want to recommend therapy. 100% want to recommend therapy, and a good therapist, because not all therapists are amazing. And I feel like you will know. If you have a therapist and they don't feel right, you will just know. But I highly recommend therapy, because if you've been through something difficult, they can really help you come out on the other side and get through it. But also with maybe things that are just irritating things, like something that's just stressing you out right now. not necessarily trauma, but just a stress, I think journaling really helps with that. Maybe there's things going on throughout your day where you notice you just get really irritated. Like maybe you spill coffee on your favorite shirt, or you just get stuck in traffic, or just things like that happen and they build up and they stress you out. Or even if they don't build up, they still can stress you. It's about looking at these things with a different mindset, trying to stay as positive as you can through them, even though I know, girl, I know it's hard, all right? I didn't say it was gonna be easy. Who said it was gonna be easy, you know? I think journaling about them and thinking, okay, what do I think about this? Like, what is my belief about this thing happening? For example, let's say somebody comments something negative on a picture of yours. What is your belief about that thing? Do you think that person should fall off the face of the earth, and you hate that person and you type back something negative back to them because it just makes you so angry? And maybe sometimes it hurts you because you might believe there's some truth to it, or it just feels really personal. That could be your mindset about it. But if you journal or reflect, you can change your mindset to, that's not about me. That's not about me. That's not personal. That's about them. They are miserable. They are hurting. And I don't have to take that on. I don't have to internalize that. I can put up my protection. Like, it's like a bubble of energy that protects you. I can put up that force field and I don't have to respond to this. And I can remember, this person's perspective of me doesn't define my worth, or this person's comment doesn't define me. But it's really hard to do things like that on the spot. That's why I recommend journaling, because when you journal and let's say you have a hard day, at the end of the day, you write down all the things that happened and you journal what were your beliefs about them, because your beliefs shape your reality. They really, really do. And when you start to have more positive beliefs about something, your reality will shift, and it's an amazing shift. So it's part of resilience too. Somebody leaves a hate comments on my thing and I'm supposed to film a video, let's say. It's like protecting yourself, not letting that bring you down or stop you from getting things done that you have to do. I'm not going to read this and be like, oh, now I'm in a bad mood, now I can't film. No, building resilience is reading that, saying that's not about me, that's about them, and I'm not going to let it bring down my mood, and I'm still gonna film, and then I film. That's what's resilience. Another thing you could do when you're going through something difficult is write down all of the other times that you've been through difficult things and how you overcame them. Maybe you're going through a breakup, write down all your other breakups you've been through, or if it's your first breakup, write down other difficult things that happened to you that you made it out on the other side of. Do I keep saying that? Made it out on the other side? I feel like I've said that a lot, but you got through it, right? You've been through hard things. So why wouldn't you get through this? You will get through this. Whatever it is. If you've done it before, you can do it again. Also, giving yourself a lot of love and a lot of patience, because I'm gonna say it again. This shit ain't easy, girl. It's not easy. I'd be lying to you if I said, oh, it's walk in the park. No issue. Nope, it's not. It's hard. And being gentle with yourself when you're having trouble. Like, I do it all the time when things are irritating me and I catch myself thinking negative thoughts about it. Like the negative comment thing. Let's say I get a negative comment and I do catch myself like wanting to respond and getting irritated. But then sometimes it's hard to pull yourself out of that. And I have it in the back of my mind, like, okay, remember, this isn't about you. Whenever I can't get that really quickly, sometimes I will jump to being critical of myself, like, oh, I just need to be positive. Like, why can't I be positive about this? But that's not giving myself love and grace and patience. So that's what I am practicing, is just because you can't right away shift mindset, you have to remember it's a practice. And just the fact that you're able to acknowledge the negative thoughts, like that's the first step. And that's something to be so proud of yourself for. And like loving yourself is very, very essential to building resilience. So you have to love yourself, man. You have to. No way around it. And just like I said, finally, just having that perspective. What is this trying to teach me? Because there's a lesson in everything. We can always take lessons out of everything, even if there seems like there's no possible silver line. There's no possible way there's a lesson. Sometimes the lesson is just that it's making you stronger. It's making you more empathetic. The more we go through things, the more we can empathize with other people going through things. And more empathy is always a good thing. That's probably the most important trait a person can have, is empathy, in my opinion. Yeah, girl, whatever you're going through, just know, maybe you need to hear this. Whatever you're going through, you're going to make it through it, and you're going to get stronger from it, and you're going to learn from it. And you're going to be such an amazing person from it. You already are amazing. So just think about all the growth they're going to be that much more amazing. You're growing through what you go through. Remember that. If things feel hard right now, all your feelings are valid about it. If you feel angry, sad, frustrated, depressed, all of your feelings are valid. And I hope you can say right now, I validate myself, because that's the most important thing, is that you're able to validate yourself. That's really going to get you through this. Validate yourself, love yourself, journal, and just listen to other people's stories. Sometimes just hearing another person's story, like I said, and seeing that they made it out, it's inspiring, and it can show you that you will get through this. So I'm sending you so much love, girl. I really am sending you so much love. And if you haven't listened to the other episodes, make sure you go listen to them. I will see you in the next one, girl.